Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the bunch formation in the Matt Canada offense. I know Canada's been taking a lot of heat this week for play calling, which I just don't get. I've actually seen a lot of nice little progress, especially here in this bunch formation, which is why I wanted to kind of highlight it. I think Canada's doing a good job of creating some looks that are versatile and multiple, and today we'll break down a little bit of what that looks like. So let's jump back to week 2 real quick for a play that the Steelers put on tape. They've got the bunch formation here a little away from the line, and we got Mitch in a pistol formation here. So starting the play, we see we've got Deontay kind of circling around on this sweep motion. I think they call it orbit when it's kind of wide and circular like this. Mitch steps to the left, hands it off to Najee. It's kind of a zone read. Najee cuts it back, does a good job of kind of selling this gap before cutting it back in, picking up a modest gain. Patriots do a good job here of collapsing towards the run, filling this hole, and gang tackling Najee, not letting him fall forward. So jumping to Cleveland, we've got, a similar kind of bunch formation. This time Trubisky's on our center. We got Deontay out wide to the field side. And we notice Mitch is going to turn to his right. Najee's going to step right towards the bunch. We've got Pickens, who's going to mimic this kind of orbit motion. And we've got Freiermuth pulling on the backside underneath. The handoff is to the right. We get some nice blocking. Najee does a good job of cutting while getting upfield. Something I'd like to see him do more of is maintain that forward momentum. And he's able to fall forward here down to the 4-yard line. So looking at it from the end zone cam, again, we have Freiermuth kind of pulling underneath, Pickens circling for that jet, and Claypool's also stressing the defense here, going out for reception. So, looking at that again here, we can imagine the handoff was successful, but look at all this space should Mitch decided to have handed it off. Look at all this space if Claypool if Mitch held the ball and decided to try to hit Claypool. Regardless, you can't say this is a bad play design when literally it's a successful run with another run option that looks good as well as a pass option. So let's take a look at this same formation taking place at a different part of the game. Once again, we've got Deontay out wide. We've got this same little bunch. That might be Gentry this time, but we still got Claypool and Pickens. This time, Trubisky turns towards the bunch again. We've got the same sweep action, but this time, instead of the play following the blockers who are moving to the left, drawing these linebackers, making them take one false step to the left. Meanwhile, the immediate handoff to Warren is successful for the first down run. So kind of looking back here to the play before, we can see the line moves to the right in the same direction as the flow of the run. So, off the snap, all the linemen's first step is to the right. That's kind of where the flow to the run is. Contrast that with this second play, all the linemen are going to move left, but instead of handing the ball to the running back towards that flow, Trubisky's going to turn right and hit Warren with the handoff up the right side. So looking at it from the end zone, we can see how Cleveland's going to kind of run themselves out of the play a little bit. I think this might be Garrett here. He's kind of following the flow of this tight end here, maintaining. He's all the way hard right here when Warren gets the handoff. He's an athletic guy, so he recovers and covers a lot of space, but not enough to get his hands on Warren. So you can see by mixing up the direction of the run with giving that same look of the linemen all taking their first step to the left, it results in a nice gain, catching the defense a little bit off guard. Let's watch the linebackers here. They kind of all jump a little bit left. You see they're continuing to flow left, even though Warren's already gotten the ball. By the time they recognize, they're a little late to make the play. Warren does a nice job of beating 50 here, kind of beating him to the outside. So that's another example. Here also we see this time the line's going to move to the left towards the bunch once again. The tight end's going to pull. This time we forego, there's no jet sweep action because we don't want to draw the safety down, because this is actually going to be a counter to the right. So once again, we get the linebackers flowing down towards, the flow of the linemen. This D end who's unaccounted for bites hard, inside. And meanwhile, Trubisky instead reaches his right hand out. Warren cuts back on the counter, and Freiermuth is here to pick up the linebacker, another big gain. Unfortunately, Warren fumbles. Let's take a look at it again. First step, boom, everyone to the left, including the running back. Cleveland is coming downhill, trying to smother that, trying to, get in there. And what does Canada do? He runs the counter. Because of that flow on the tight end each time that we've seen before, Freiermuth's there to pick up the block. And we got a nice little game. Deontay doing his part. Not the biggest guy, but, getting on the block. Let's take a look from the end zone cam. And again, flowing left, counter right. Freiermuth is there. Nice little gain. So we can see this look has been really successful for the run game. Here's another example of just going back to the standard look. Not too much trickeration here. You got to keep the defense honest. So in this case, we got bunch formation again. The linemen this time flow a little left. The handoff's to the right, but it's not designed necessarily to go to the right. I think this is more of a zone read. Cleveland does a really good job of kind of getting some penetration. Najee cuts back towards following his blockers and does a decent job of getting something out of nothing here. He's got a little space, finds it, stays on the hip of the tight end here, and falls forward. Taking a look from the end zone cam, we've got this kind of bunch here once again. Now the bunch is also flowing down to kind of seal this side of the run, while our tackle guard can get a double team, our center guard can get a double team. This tight end is even actually almost pulling a little bit, picks up a linebacker. Najee kind of gets through, even though the defense does a good job. So finally, let's take a look at a play where Steelers were running a little tempo here and actually catch Cleveland a little off guard. We've got a secondary player, it looks like, running onto the field late. But, finally out of this look, we've got the safeties, linebackers all looking here. And Mitch does a quick snap, and he puts a really good throw, leading Johnson on his forward shoulder. But Johnson drops it. I think he got a little too excited about all this space he had out here. So we'll see, him not make the play, which is difficult. But again, so many people getting on Canada. If you maybe are just watching the TV tape, you don't necessarily see all this space out here that, Deontay's got. You just see, why is Canada throwing it like, 2 yards down the line of scrimmage, or negative 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage even? Well, he's stretching the field horizontally. If Deontay makes that play, that's a potential touchdown. There's no reason to think with that much space, Deontay can't juke this man and get downfield. All right, so there you have it. The Matt Canada bunch formation offense. I really liked what I saw in terms of being multiple out of the same look, being versatile, running counters, running power, running zone, and even having a few pass options. We didn't even see the quarterback keep yet or hand it off on that sweep. I know people are down on Canada at the moment, but I think we've got to give this offense a little time. Last year was not his offense, guys. You cannot hold that against him. So realistically, we're in game 3 of the Canada offense. If you haven't already, appreciate the like and subscribe, and thanks again.